Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael.
My name's Cleve.
And welcome to an exciting episode of Friendship
Supreme.
Where the podcast that dares to ask, did you spend the last month finding all the negative comments that people put on Instagram for a particular Marvel Universe movie coming out and then combat them all because you were tired of hearing the nonsense dribble of a bunch of people that can't get over the fact that things have to change sometimes?
Yes, I also did that.
Cleve has been in a war on our Instagram with every single person that has decided that they're just going to trash a movie that they haven't even seen. That wasn't even out yet. It's out now. Wasn't then. And they decided it was garbage. Because if you go woke, you go broke, my friends.
The pandering.
How many times did you hear that? How many times did you hear
Which one?
Go woke, go broke?
At least twice in every Marvel Studios post about Marvels.
They really like to chant that.
Yeah.
There's a specific group of people that really likes to chant go woke, go broke.
What I combated that comment every time, which is the same comment, which is define woke for me.
One person was confused by you asking him that.
Oh, I know.
I saw that.
Michael, because we share social media, Michael gets all the replies.
I do wake up to just like 30 replies to things, and I'm like, oh, he's been busy tonight. So people have been pooping. They've been pooping on the poop on the Marvels, which just came out recently.
Yeah, before that's what bugged me is if you went and saw the movie and you didn't like it, you have the right to complain. But if the movie's not out yet, and you just it's the audacity that the movie's not out yet and that you're scrolling and you don't care about the movie, but you want to stop and comment about how shitty it is. That's when I'm like, I'm coming for you. Because so easy on Instagram just to go whoop and you're on the next post. You don't even have to like live it. But they feed off of it. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed someone to socially die.
Steve, some of us are not over them changing Miss Marvel's powers, okay?
Yeah, we got to get over that when the show came out.
Yeah, but the show was not good, sir. It was. I didn't. Where was the fun in the show? It wasn't made for me.
That was last year. You have to get over that. Are you past that yet? Look, I'll be the first one to tell you. It bothered me that they changed it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
But they changed a bunch of shit.
They did it
all the time.
Happened.
Are they also upset that Ultron was created by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner instead of Hank Pym? No, because you just got over shit.
Yeah, because you don't.
It's real easy. You just go kerplunk.
Yeah,
and you're over it.
Are Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver mutants? No,
they're not.
They're not. They're gifted.
And Kamala
We got over it.
And Kamala is specifically the word mutant.
Yeah.
Process that how you need to.
Suck it.
Is Scarlet? I don't know. She's dead now, so doesn't really matter if she is or isn't. You can do an autopsy. You gonna pick up all the rocks that she's under, do an autopsy.
There were many times when Cleve was met with bring back Iron Man, and sometimes I would chime in and say he's dead.
Or you know what? I played him. Let me scroll because I've got the IMDb for Marvel up. So 2008, and he was last seen in Endgame, which was 2019. He's tired.
Yeah. Tony's done.
Robert Downey, just like Chris Evans. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to do some other stuff. Dave Bautista. I'd like to look at what the rest of the industry has to offer.
I would have used Hugh Jackman, but he won't shut the fuck up because he just like somehow you can bring me back under these qualifications, and those qualifications keep getting met. Cleve was also met with
one Diet Coke.
Cleve was also met with things such as, "This is the worst Marvel movie ever." To which Cleve brought up, "Do you remember Thor 2: Dark World?" And someone told him someone told Cleve that Thor: Dark World was 1,000 times better than the Marvels.
Can you tell me a thing that happened in Thor: The Dark World?
There was black goo inside of Jane, and it came out.
You only know that because of Endgame.
That's possible. That's possible
because they revisited that dumb shit.
Yeah, that's highly possible.
Do you remember the Incredible Hulk, which nobody was a fan of?
To the point where we never brought that up as an argument, but to the point where that character, the actor, doesn't exist in the MCU. We have a different actor. The MCU Hulk, if I'm not wrong, was Edward Norton, was it not?
It was Edward Norton.
And now we have Mark Ruffalo, who never had a solo movie.
I never will.
Just want to point that out.
Just want to point that out, shit.
Then Cleve was told there was no other worse movie. And Cleve, at one point night, was conversing with me, and we talked about how horribly received Iron Man 3 was. Yeah. People are forgetting.
It was not good.
People are forgetting that Marvel had bumpy road. A lot of bumpy road. It almost didn't come together.
Yeah.
Like, this is not. Everybody's like, Endgame, Infinity War, they're the fucking best thing that's ever happened. That's an accumulation of 20 years put together.
I would argue it's the worst thing that's ever happened. Because these guys can't let go of it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I was in the theater. I was there. I remember the feeling of all these movies that I'd kept up with all these years coming together for this one moment. But like, we had that moment, and now we have to start back at the bottom and build our way back up to that moment. You can't just, half the universe disappears threat level every fucking time.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are just tiny and the quantum realm's in trouble.
And
sometimes.
And the other part of that is, right, that we've discussed that Star Wars fucked up on this. Death has to have weight. And for it to have weight, it needs to be permanent in some aspects. You can't allow for Tony Stark to have died for what he died for, to have done and made the sacrifices that he did, to then just be like, just kidding, Snap, he's actually back now, it's funsies. That took away from me and comic books a lot of times when I'd be like, well, it's just gonna get fucking retconned, what does it matter?
I will accept him coming back in an AI form.
Yeah. That's fine.
He can't actually do shit himself.
Yeah.
But he uploaded his consciousness.
Sure.
But then who wants to hear that fucking guy?
No.
Every time you're trying to do something.
It'd just be a smart ass AI.
That's what I'm saying.
But the sacrifices that are made have to have weight to them, and the only way to give weight to them is to add permanency to it. You can't just be like, oh, everything was sacrificed, and then so like, just kidding, actually, we fixed everything, but also like, we're gonna just get those characters back. Like, it's not fun. It's not, your emotions aren't there anymore.
And if you bring back Iron Man, then what was really lost in Endgame?
Right. I think
and
that
if you bring back Iron Man, fuck Black Widow, because she sacrificed so that someone else could sacrifice. If you want to look at it that
yeah,
way,
I
she
think
walked
that
so he could run.
there are times where I've watched movies knowing the story ahead of time. You know what? What's a good example of this is One Piece. I've watched 1,085 episodes, right? And I watched that Netflix series with my wife. And there were moments where like things can happen, like someone might die, but I know they're not gonna die. I don't. There's no emotional attachment to that. Like the weight's not there, right?
Yeah.
And so if you lose that weight, then it takes away from some of the emotions that the other people feel. So like if I was to tell my wife like these things are gonna happen, it would deprive her of that emotion that she's gonna feel when going through them, like I did when I went through them.
Mhm.
Again, if I
People struggle with it. You ever watch something with somebody and they're like, "Hey, watch this part. Watch.
yes,
It's rough."
agreed. Anyways, guys, I just want to point out, I know this is the opening and we're already 10 minutes in. The tomato, I'm going to go with the audience score because it's the only thing I care about. Critics are fucking a joke. The audience score for Thor Dark World was 75%. For Iron Man 3 was 78%. For the Marvels, 85%. Fucking suck it, trolls. God, fucking suck it.
And that is to me, well deserved score. I could see it coming down to 80.
Yeah.
Low B.
High 70s, low 80s.
High C. But yeah, no, it is. It's an enjoyable movie. I honestly could say that I would probably watch it more than once. And I was telling my wife who I went with because you could watch Carol, you could watch Kamala, and you could watch Monica, and like they're just feeding off each other and just doing the best things the entire time.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable to me. If I had to speak a negative on it, it does seem very like, let's go here, okay, let's go here, okay, let's go here, let's go here. And like things are just kind of happening more than letting things kind of develop.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fucking like a video game mission. You know what I mean? Like, all right, gotta go here now. All right, gotta go here now. All right, gotta go here now. Sometimes stories are told that way.
The one negative I would say, and I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna probably mention the part that I'm talking about at the end when I say, "Hey, we're gonna talk about spoilers for a quick second." But there were at least one thing that was not tied up for me, and it wasn't on purpose, I don't think. And so, like, I feel like there was one thing we didn't wrap up, not super significant, but would have liked it. And I don't think it was intentional that we didn't wrap it up. I think we just were like, this isn't significant enough, so we don't need to. I thought I went into it already having read negative stuff about it, and I try not to do that.
Boy, so much negative stuff.
Because it can be daunting, right? Like, it gets old watching people just shit on things all the time. But I read a lot of the complaints, and a lot of the complaints early on to Cleve's thing was like, oh, the CGI was garbage. It was terrible. And so, like, I went in mentally saying, I'm going to find the moments and I'm like, this doesn't feel right, or this doesn't look good. And I came away with 3. And if there are 3, and I mean like minute scenes that like really I said, all right, yeah, I see where maybe we cut a corner on this CGI. 3 scenes out of an entire movie, it get fucked.
When things like the Flash exist,
right? I'm not even like
movie.
I'm not even trying to compare it to like Green Lantern, which we all call it, which is a joke. But like, I mean, we could compare it to apples to apples. I guarantee we could pick it almost every single Marvel movie, and I'd find around 3 to 5 times where I'm like, the CGI is rough.
Yeah.
I when Cleve and I talked immediately after seeing this movie, and I said, and I still stand by it, I do think I need to rewatch it just to make sure I'm not wrong. But I think there was one of the best choreographed and filmed fight scenes that I've ever seen in any Marvel movie. Something that I thought was innovative, fun, and beautifully shot. Like I genuinely keep playing that fight over in my head and think this was so well done. Whoever was like a part of that experience needs to really pat themselves on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the chemistry between the three, not only characters but actresses in general, was really brought to life. I think one of our biggest complaints when we saw the original Captain Marvel was that Brie Larson didn't really have personality. That was a big thing. That was not just us that said it. There was lots of people who were like, it was just felt emotionless. And I think even she at one point had said like she felt like she was forced to be that way.
Yeah.
That was not the case here. We got a lot of character. We had silliness. We had seriousness. We had a range of emotions and got to watch this character be herself. We got to see this character grow. I think Captain Marvel had like very much a purpose in the movie. Like when the movie Captain Marvel came out, like we had a purpose for that, right? We needed to set up and establish that Captain Marvel existed so that she could come and save the day and the Infinity Stone or Infinity Game and Endgame and Infinity War. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to establish her, right? So that she could then come into this war and help. And I think that's where the character got a disservice, and that's why this movie was a lot more enjoyable.
The time in which you release these movies, according to the story, does affect people's appreciation for it. Because she was not the only movie that came out between that time frame. Or no, she was the only movie that came out between that time frame, right?
Right.
And I feel like that, well, wasn't Ant-Man somewhere in between there?
I don't think so. Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, because we had to set up the Quantum Realm and them all getting pulled, or him getting pulled in, and that's why he didn't get dusted or some shit.
2018 is when it came out. July 6, 2018. Might be right.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel was in 2019. So we had two movies that came out in between there. After watching Infinity War, I don't care about nothing else but Endgame.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, your story in between here is just, to me, feels like money grab filler. Right. I don't care. I like Paul Rudd. I don't care. I don't care about nothing you guys got going on.
Give me the.
I need to get to Endgame.
Yeah, knowing that there's a second part, because originally it was like part 1, part 2. Mm-hmm. That's how it was titled. We knew that, like, all right, we give us the rest. Like when Harry Potter did Deathly Hallows 1, Deathly Hallows 2. Like, all right, Deathly Hallows 1's done. It's like Spider-Man and across the universe, across the Spider-Verse. Give me fucking number 3. Don't end it halfway through, and I need more. Give me more.
You built a lot, and now I need it.
And that's perfect analogy to Endgame and Infinity War. Is that like you have accumulated a lot of things, and it's here, and we're happening, and I need the whole. I need it. I need it all now. Like I'm not. Yeah. So no, I agree. That.
And I think that hurt Black Widow also. Even though Black Widow scores on Rotten Tomatoes are higher than I thought they would be, I think that hurt her as well. Like, I struggle with, and I do this with not just this, but everything. Anytime I know a character dies and when they die, and then I watch a before story, it's hard for me to get invested. When she jumped out of the plane, I'm like, she's fine. Because she can't die here. because she's got to die there. There's no threat. She was blown up in a car and she's crawling out. Oh, I'm like, you're okay, because I need to throw you off a cliff later. Like, it's hard for me to be invested, and they should have put that movie out after fucking Civil War,
Yeah.
not well into what, phase 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you set it up to fail.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie got the benefit of, because someone was like, "Oh, the movie was rushed." I'm like, all of WandaVision helped tell this story. All of Ms. Marvel helped tell this story.
Yeah.
This is probably the least rushed,
Yes.
and it's the first movie that I mean, double check here. Yeah, it's the first movie where the Disney Plus world mattered.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we don't have a Captain America 4 yet.
Kind of Quantumania, but not really. It's just all Loki did was introduce Kang.
Yeah.
So that you knew he existed. So it wasn't confusing when he then was also in Quantumania. But if I'm being 100% honest, he was still confusing in there.
I almost feel like I would have rather met him
in Quantumania.
Quantumania first, because then I would have met this guy. I would have not thought anything scary of him, and then he would have been the king, and then I would have met him here anyway. Listen, that, but yeah, this is two big characters that came straight from the shows that impacted it. I thought that all three of them did really well. I thought Fury was great because, and I say this about a lot of actors too, is like when you hire Will Smith to play a role,
Like
you kind of want Will Smith to play the role, right? So when you get Samuel L. Jackson to play Nick Fury, you really want some Samuel L. Jackson in your Nick Fury. Otherwise, you could have hired anybody.
100%.
Anybody could just fucking wear an eye patch and act like an asshole. But the comedic level that Samuel L. Jackson can bring, he didn't get to do in any of the movies. Well, where did he pop up? He popped up Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Some cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't even got those. I didn't get a second act.
No, I think we didn't talk about it on this podcast, but we did talk about it personally. That we noticed that in the Nick Fury show that didn't get a Secret Invasion, that didn't get a lot of love either. But it was the first time like they really let Samuel L. Jackson be Samuel L. Jackson while doing his Nick Fury, and it was good.
I didn't get a good rap, but God damn, they make an act.
Yeah. I didn't mind Secret Invasion. I thought it was decent. It was better than it's better than Loki 2 so far, but
yeah. Oh, man. Get ready. Now you got some comments coming. The other problem with Secret Invasion is that the whole point of Secret Invasion being a threat is that you don't know who's a Skrull.
Yeah.
But it fucking told you who every Skrull you knew. There was no mystery. Like, yeah, it should have been a level of paranoia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing that ruined it was the Super Skrull at the end. I don't know. It was kind of
that was whatever.
Fine.
That's fine. You can have it.
That's not what we're here talking about.
Also, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but also this movie doesn't end with that typical "you have the same powers as me" fight beam in the sky, which is nice. Because nobody wants that ending every fucking movie.
I will say that this took from different formulas, and it definitely was refreshing because it didn't feel like a lot of other Marvel movies. And then in some good aspects, you got... I don't want to say Guardians of the Galaxy level like Taika Waititi, fun, but there was fun in it. There was fun, and it wasn't. I don't know.
What's her name? Amon
Uh-huh.
really like brought just a level that only certain characters can pull off of
Yeah.
this, like always love in your heart, constant happy
And for the people that
like
are upset,
attitude.
about her powers being changed, I will say that she still uses her power like she does in the comic book.
Mhm.
It may not be the fact that her arm's getting bigger or she's getting bigger, but she definitely does that still.
Yeah, makes a big fist.
Yeah.
I want her to make big fists again.
All the foot freaks out there. They're like, God dang it, I want to see the big old toes. Yeah, again, without going into spoilers and stuff, what I will say is it was beautifully shot. I think there was a lot of fun. They didn't rely on other Marvel movies, which I actually think is kind of nice. I know that they were upset about the fact that in the trailer they showed Endgame. Spoiler alert: Captain Marvel's in it, so obviously we can talk about it. But like, it was good. I really liked it. I personally gave it an 8 out of 10. Again, I reserve the right to watch it again and make sure I'm not overhyping it for myself. But I think the music was well done. I think the shots were well done. I think that the setting was good. I liked the resolution. And I've been upset with the resolution in a lot of movies lately, in a lot of Marvel movies specifically.
I will say that I think this movie might have arguably one of the weaker villains.
Yeah.
Not like strength, but just like development. But also, so this villain, Ben Denbar,
Yeah, Danbar.
Denbar, um, is a villain by circumstance. Wasn't
The
like,
Killmonger situation.
yeah, it wasn't like I want to, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. It was, hey, my planet got screwed. I'm pissed about it. I'm gonna fix it, and
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes to fix it.
Yep.
Which, I mean, is that a villain?
Yeah.
So that's what I say to those haters.
But
That
also,
want to complain with the villain.
why am I blanking on that Kree's name now? The one that used to have the hammer.
Oh, Ronan.
Rowan. Ronan?
Ronan.
Ronan. Ronan was also not like a super stellar villain.
No.
He's kind of a lackey. And so it was what it
Or
was. At least in
whoever
the
Jude
movies.
Law played could care less about him too.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll rank the villains later.
I think it was a really well done movie. I think we've put into motion a lot of things that I'm looking forward to, which I think this is the purpose in this movie. I think this is the catalyst, right? This is the one that's supposed to be like, look what we can do and where we're going to go. And so I'm looking forward to the path that we're on.
Do you think that you would need to see both Disney Plus shows to get this movie, or do you think this movie does enough to pull along anybody who might not have seen it?
I think if you're willing to accept superheroes having superpowers without knowing how they got them, then I don't think you need Scarlet
They just
Witch,
exist in the world, that's
WandaVision.
fair.
I don't think you need Rambo's the only thing. Like, I think that aside from her getting her powers through the Witch X, like aside from that, there's no need for WandaVision.
Yeah, at most watching Captain Marvel and then understanding that half the world disappeared.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that you would really need to really be able to buckle down this movie.
Miss Marvel, I suggest watching because I think it will endear you to that character. Otherwise, I think she could be seen as kind of annoying at first.
Wait till they bring in the fucking Moon Girl.
Oh, bro.
So good.
You know how hopeful I am for Doreen Green? They're like best friends. Miss Marvel and Doreen Green are like best friends. When am I getting Squirrel Girl?
I need me some of that.
Bro. Anyway, no, I think watching Miss Marvel would help you because I can see the character Kamala Khan being annoying because she's essentially fangirling in a superhero movie, and that could be but at the same time, if you know this character and you understand this character and you liked watching Miss Marvel, you're gonna also like her in this show. And you have to just accept that this is a teenager who suddenly stumbled upon superpowers.
And met their little hero. Yeah.
And met their hero. Right. My daughter, the best part about this whole movie was getting to watch this with my daughter and my wife. Because both of them were just giddy as all out could be. My wife is a huge Captain Marvel fan. My daughter, big Miss Marvel fan. And watching my daughter watching Kamala Khan meet her idols, we were walking out the theater and she goes, I just want you to know, if I ever met my superhero, my superhero, she goes, I'd also go crazy. I said, I get that. This is a 6-year-old that understands, like, that is a genuine reaction that would exist if you were a normal person 2 years ago, and then suddenly you're a mutant and you have magic, or you have superpowers. You're saying magic. You have superpowers, and you meet your idol, who you have posters of everywhere. Can you imagine, 13-year-old Cleve getting to meet whoever was a poster on your wall? Like, that's
yeah. That you act like that, where you barely talk and you're all up in their fucking face, and you just want them to accept you. You know what I saw that really bummed me out, and I can't find his name. It says he's a YouTuber. He talks about comic books. He's Puerto Rican guy. I can't think of what his name is, but he was like, I didn't like this movie. I thought it wasn't good. And he commented on it being like Disney princess-ish, and how he likes Disney princesses because he has 2 daughters, but he didn't like this. And I commented on his video, and I'm like, would your daughters have liked this? Because if your daughters would like this, then how can you fight against it? You know what I mean? Like,
we've talked about this in every fandom we ever talk about. Star Wars, Marvel, like Lord of the Rings, not Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, whatever it is. Movies are adapting for the current audience and the age groups. I'm sorry that you didn't like this movie. Then maybe it's gearing towards a new audience that's growing and getting to see this. And maybe you see the value in that, wow, we're bringing all these new people in. Wow, we're getting this new story. We're adapting how we tell stories. It's not the same exact bullshit every time. And I pulled up a specific critic quote because it really bugged me. And the reason it really bugged me was because this is an actual critic who writes things. And I think it's funny because I wanted to be nasty and really dig into this. But he has a blog, but he also supposedly writes reviews for some small newspaper. His blog looks like 10-year-old Michael put it together when he was 10 back then with that technology back then.
Oh, okay.
It's roughly put together, in my opinion. But his quote, I'll leave out certain parts of it because it talks about a scene that had me in tears from laughter and joy. But he said the only lasting memorable highlight of all this genuine girl power becomes, and then he talks about the scene. And the reason this really bugged me, and the reason that Cleve's negative comments that he's been attacking have really bugged me, is because there's a common denominator a lot of the times, and they don't like being called out for it. They always deny it, and then you get a couple of white knights that jump in there and really try to defend them. Why is it that when you have a female character or female characters in a movie who are heroes, Why is it called a girl power movie? If Guardians of the Galaxy was all male, would it be called a boy power movie or a guy power movie?
Yeah.
The moment we add female characters to comic book based movies, we immediately have issues with it. And they'll say, no, that's not it. We're all for representation, but they don't have to shove it in our face. When would you like it?
This is the third female-led movie, and it's the same woman from before.
Well, and I just like, when would you like that representation to exist? Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and depending on what we want to call her, Photon or Spectrum, are genuinely female characters within the movie, within the comic book universe, because they want to throw comic book accuracy at you now, not with the fucking Mandarin in Iron Man 3 or Ultron, as Cleve brings out, and one of the highest fucking the movie that they dumped all this fucking attention into. Not we don't care about comic book accuracy there, but we need comic book accuracy in any time when fucking a female exists in the comic book. These women are in the comics. What do you want?
They also exist. Can they exist, please?
I'm sorry, guys. Do you want it to be Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then Blue Marvel thrown in there? Because that would fucking make sense, right? Because then we're good with it. Although, just kidding, he's black. You'd probably have a fucking problem with that, too.
Oh, man.
It's so
hold
fucking...
on. Is he playing the villain? Because if he's playing the villain...
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
We don't mind.
My apologies. Or if the entire cast is black, then we're good with it.
Are they, though?
They don't ever seem to... Well, okay, sometimes they do say, what if T'Challa was white? They like to try to throw that in your face. It's fucking stupid. They keep saying that that's not what it is, but it always falls back to that. Nobody can explain what woke is other than forcing your ideologies on us. You're not forced to go see this movie. Keep fucking scrolling. Fucking scrolling.
I found one comment that was like, I'm not sexist, but I'm like, there it is, right there. Anybody who says a sentence like that, it's bad. It's never a good thing.
It's not. It's telling. I feel bad for the people in your lives. If you sit here and have to try to defend yourself for shitting on a movie that you haven't fucking seen yet. I took a picture. I got weird looks for this. I took a picture of the crowd in the movie theater as I was leaving in the lobby of all the people coming to see this movie. It was a lot of people. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
And it was a huge crowd. It was a huge crowd of people. There are people that want to see this, but instead we have to listen to what I can only assume is bot accounts at this point because the intelligence is minimal at best, or B, people that just troll, which those exist and it sucks, but it is what it is, or C, the worst kind of people, the fanboys of, and I don't mean just men because it's women out there too that do this, but the fanboys of the world that are so stuck and can't allow change to exist and don't see the forest through the trees and are so stuck on the idea that Endgame and Infinity War are the bar now. That's it. If we're not there, why are we making movies? Do I think that Marvel and Disney are greedy and want our money? Absolutely. Yeah, they do. They want all your money. You're right. Do I think that they should be held accountable to make good movies? Yes. And if they put a shitty movie out there, go make fun of them and dig into them. This isn't it.
Yeah,
You're missing it. You want to,
and you know what? I always feel like too, like, okay, so I get it. Marvel started with comics. Comics weren't typically read by women. right? But like, as a company, at some point, should I not be allowed to broaden my audience, or should I only sell to you guys? Like, should I only sell on my block, or maybe my town?
Think of
I could probably get more money if I sell in my town.
think of the crazy storylines we've gotten because of things that someone said, yeah, why not? Let's try this. Let's go down this road. And even in the comic book world, they get bullied, right? Like they get pushed out, and it's like, oh well, that's in this universe. It's okay, guys. Don't be mad at us. We're sorry that we did Black Puerto Rican Spider-Man. Just kidding. He's not actually. He's fucking. That was a different universe. Just take it back, guys. Sorry. It's Peter Parker again.
Yeah, remember when they killed Peter Parker? You should have seen it. Or how great is She-Hulk to like already have this shit like shot, and they're working on editing, and as these guys are just constantly talking shit about the show, the episodes are like, yep, some dumbass guy is gonna be talking shit about this episode. Like you're basic at this point. They see you coming a mile away. They know you exist. They know you're out there. And they're gonna keep doing it anyway. I enjoyed She-Hulk. I get that it didn't look great all the time, but again, you're making a fucking 6 foot. If you're not gonna do a Lou Ferrigno with this going, it's gonna look funny.
We talked about the reason Cleves said it again like that is we talked about Quantumania a lot. People shit on this movie. It actually wasn't that bad. It was not by far the top 50% of the Marvel movies, but everybody was so upset about MODOK. And me and Cleve, the first reaction was like, what the fuck did you want them to do? What would you like anybody to do to make
a head with
a giant head and little tiny baby arms work? What do you want? That's, I think, above anything else, to add to Cleve's define woke is, what would you like? What is it that you would do? Because I'd love to know. I'd love to know what these geniuses of industry would do. And every one of them is bring back Iron Man, bring back Captain America, bring back the originals, the ones we loved. I'm going to let you know now that Marvel is great at the secret sauce. And the secret sauce is something that you guys are obviously not seeing. It's taking characters that people didn't give a shit about and making them something.
Mm-hmm.
You guys think that you love Iron Man and he's fucking amazing. I'm going to let you know now he was one of the worst selling characters in Marvel before the movies. He was not a popular character. That's why they created the Avengers, was to make it more popular.
Yeah, it's great because they all act like they know.
These characters were Captain America was a pretty well-selling character, but I'm just saying, like, guys, these were not like super pushed and well-sold characters that existed. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. All you guys are fucking falling over each other to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. We did an episode when the first one came out where we went and found comic books to read about them because we had never heard of them.
Uh-huh.
We talked about the origins of them, where people had not heard of these guys before.
And to do you one better, that they weren't even Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fair enough.
Like,
yeah,
it's like the Suicide Squad. Like, it's just you guys are the Suicide Squad. Don't worry about it.
But everybody's so hung up on it. Somebody's so excited and clamoring forth the day of old, right? Because those were the good days. Dark World and Iron Man 3. It's rough, guys. It was rough then. And everybody complained about it then, but now we're looking back. I think it's like Star Wars. People shit on the first, the 1, 2, and 3, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Return of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith. And now people are going back and being like, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. They were kind of
Well,
good.
you put fucking Christian Haydenson in something and they wet themselves.
Yeah.
But it's the same people.
You bullied? Who bullied him out? Who made a little kid cry? Who made little tiny baby Anakin feel like he could never
What,
be an
acting?
actor again? Fandoms are disgusting. They're just, they suck. Nobody wants to be a part of any fan base anymore because true fans are shitty people. Anyways, guys, this is not at all what this episode was about. Go watch Marvels. Like I said, I would give it 8 out of 10. Cleve, what would you give it?
Yeah, like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna hold myself back on the fact that I just watched something new and I don't want to like oversell it,
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yep, fair enough.
I told you the worst part about it, which is we kind of jump from point to point,
visual like,
but like,
story go, yeah.
but Guardians of the Galaxy does it all the time.
Yeah.
So,
But you got a training montage.
did get a training montage, and I did enjoy that training montage.
Training montage was cute. Yeah.
Yo, and we'll talk about it on here because it's a staple of our podcast. When they played fucking Memories, with the cat, the Flurkins, fantastic stuff.
I was in tears, guys. My wife,
Only real fans get that. How about that? Only real fans get that.
my wife looked at me and goes, "Do you know what they're playing?" And I couldn't talk.
Oh, she picked up on it?
Yeah.
Real fan.
Yeah.
Real fans know.
No thanks. Yeah, they played Memories. Barbara Streisand was singing it. I only wish it would have been Jennifer Hudson. It would have made it so much better for me. It would have been the absolute piece de la resistance.
It's such a. It's almost like the movie was made for us because who else is getting it, right? Like, besides the guy that's seen Cats too many times, some will say.
And it just, yeah, it's like, that seems solid. It's not really a spoiler. I am going to talk about a spoiler though right now because we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to give you a second. I know we have lots of fans out there. Turn off your ears. Look away if you haven't seen it yet.
Go to this timestamp, Michael. We'll put it right here.
That's not happening. But post, it's not happening. All right, we're done explaining that there should be a spoiler. So the spoiler is we don't get a conclusion to Aladna. The water is being sucked out of Aladna.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that in them joining power and closing the hole is supposed to close all holes. And I'm fine with that. But there was some time lapse between when they left Aladna to when they closed it. I need to know, is that planet destroyed like the Skrull planet was?
Look, that planet is 98% water.
It's going to take a
They're
while.
fine. They've still got at least 50. They're fine.
I just need to
The
know.
suit-
I need to
maybe
know
not
that
so
they're
much.
okay. Because
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
love them.
Oh yeah, we need to revisit that planet.
I need a
often.
whole movie about that planet.
And
I'd be
what's
fine
funny
with it.
is, yeah, I don't know how to go back. I don't know how to go back to the planet. Like, who
No.
goes? Who goes?
Well, she is a princess, so.
Yeah. When Kamala blocked that fucking saber guy from running with her powers, she was like, "I'm sorry, you're gonna get eaten by this cat. So enjoy." Like,
The scene, this is all just about cats right now, guys. The scene where the girl is running and she hits the wall and is like looking around like she's terrified. You just pans over and Goose and a kitten are just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so good.
Gave some Jurassic Park vibes.
Yeah. 100%.
I also like when Carol Danvers is like talking to Nick Fury, and she was like, "Are we literally hurting kittens right now?" And she's like, yeah, she was like, "Oh, come here, kitty!" Like all excited.
People were
That's the personality that
Yeah.
a character can have.
And it's so funny that people were upset that she didn't have personality in Captain Marvel, but then got upset because she was too silly in this. Anyways, guys, go see it. You know what? If anything, if you're listening to this episode, if this has done anything, it should tell you to develop your own opinion about things and don't allow other people to do that for you.
If you're not interested in it and you don't want to see it until it's on Disney Plus, that's fine too. But what was aggravating me and why I went on such a vigilante tirade was the shit talking before the movie even came out.
Yeah.
Now that the movie's out, you know what? I'm not gonna police you guys. You can have all your own opinions, but just it's that attitude that ruins shit, and then they don't do more things. I don't know why it is. We can end it too, but Cloak and Dagger's on here. I loved that show. That show was great.
I wish we could somehow bring them in, but I don't think we ever will.
People would be like, "Who the fuck are these two people?"
Yeah, because you had to go find Freedom and watch it on Freedom.
Yeah, well, it's on Hulu, but yeah.
Oh, is it on Hulu now?
Freeform, right?
Freeform. Thank you.
Yeah, Freeform and Hulu are kind of like on top of each other.
Nice.
So I think you can watch. That's why I remember watching it. Was Hulu?
I think I watched it through Freeform. Yeah.
How did you get there? Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I had to look for it because I knew it was out. This is the side thing. Park Seo Joon,
Okay.
the prince on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
He was a beautiful man.
I like when they all saw him. They were like, "Oh boy,
he was beautiful." I was like, "Holy shit!" Like that's just a pretty guy. Anyway, I've been Mike. Oh wait, no, we got. He made me so flustered.
You can contact us on all our social medias. We're all Friends of Supreme, except for Twitter. There's no I's, no more friendship. All eyes go to YouTube. YouTube.com/Friendship Supreme. Don't forget, we have a Twitch channel, Twitch.com/Friendship Supreme, where we can be seen Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 10 p.m. Central Time.
I've been Michael.
This is Lee.
Where's the snot?